Okay, good morning and welcome to the ARAS 360 weekly webinar. My name is Mike Greenfield. I'm in charge of training with ARAS 360 and I will be your host for this week's webinar. This week's webinar will be on getting your animations successfully admitted into court, and I can give you some tips and tricks on how to do that. It's actually fairly simple, and if you have any questions, just type them in the questions area and I'll be happy to answer those. So first of all, I'm gonna create a little animation here real quick just to show you how we're going to get this into court. I'm going to import a Google map. I'm going to go to a location here and just build myself a little animation. Let's find an intersection here that'll work. How about this one right here? So I'll go ahead and bring that intersection in. Now, one of the things you have to do when you're getting an animation ready for court is you have to create an accurate scale diagram. So once you have your accurate scale diagram set up, then you're going to have some accurate measurements, because your animation needs to be based on facts. There shouldn't be anything left for guesswork. It has to be based on facts. So once you have your diagram, and I'm going to go ahead and create a quick diagram here. I'm going to delete some of these cars, get them out of my scene here. And notice how I'm going to get rid of this car that's kind of on a sidewalk. I'm going to kind of make it look really good there. And then I'll take care of this one. This will kind of show you how to get rid of some of the other things that we don't need in here. And I'm going to just make a really nice, well, actually I think I'm going to go this way. There we go. We'll just get rid of these cars that are here. So I've got a pretty good intersection without any cars, so I can get rid of these too. And sometimes it's good to go over it again. It'll blend it in a little better. Okay, so there's a pretty good intersection there. Maybe I don't want this thing there too. Get that out of there. Okay, so there's a pretty good intersection, nice and clean. I'm going to lock down my Google map. Whoops. There we go. Lock it down there. Now, and I'm going to use some of my measurements from a real crash here. Let's say that I'll go in and get them. I'm going to use the exponent crash measurements here, because these are from a real crash. And I'm going to place these on my scene right about here. There we go. We'll make all the points black. So there's all my measurement points, and we'll join them. So there's my evidence. So I've got a car that basically is going across the intersection and gets hit. So I'm going to put all of these on their own layer just to make it easier. And that way I can lock the layer down and I don't keep clicking on it. There we go. So there's my evidence for my crash. Now, I might have used the momentum tool to calculate the speeds, in which we know what the speeds are for this crash. So basically, it's your opinions that you had in the crash, your analysis. Your speeds are going to be based on your analysis. You can justify your speeds, and you want to be able to do all that to get these into court. So I'm going to, I'll go in here and use the momentum tool real quick just to get this. We can justify these speeds. So I'm going to use the vehicles that were actually involved in the crash. And this is all would be a review for everyone. You probably have done this if you've taken my class. So I'll use the cars, and the cars were weighed, so we have the right weight cars. We have physical evidence that shows the approach angles. We have physical evidence that shows the departure angles. We can get all of that and justify why we're using it. We weighed the cars, so we know the weights of the cars. And maybe I've got cars that are different colors. And then we'll just slide this over onto our evidence. And I'm gonna create a diagram here that's going to be used to create the animation and be able to import it into court. So I'm using my evidence to line up the vehicles. And this vehicle obviously ends up over here. This one's over here. We have our departure, or our center mass, damaged centroid. And you're just lining everything up with their evidence is all we're doing. And we'll rotate the vehicle here. And this is going to get me the speeds I want to use for my animation. Departure angles right here. So everything's looking good. I'm going to give a deceleration rate for after impact, and I want to be able to justify that. So these cars had no braking, so I'm nowhere near the ground friction. So I'm going to be right in here. Okay, so there we go. We've got a nice momentum tool overlay. I'm going to look at my results, and I'm going to see that I have got an impact speed of, and I'm going to go the nearest mile an hour. So I've got 60 miles per hour for this red car. And then I've got an exit speed of 36, let's say 36.5 miles per hour. And it's going to go down to 0, obviously. Now my other car, I've got a approach speed of 20, and I've got an estimate or a exit speed of about 29.4. Okay, so now I've got my estimates for my speed for my crash. Now I could actually go into the animation section and hit the play button, and these cars will do the animation right there. I don't know that I would use this animation for my court because the rotations aren't correct. They're fairly correct, but they're not exactly. If you'll notice the red car, it takes the whole segment to get spun around, where my evidence indicates that the car was spun around way back here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some intermediate positions on a real animation so that I can make the cars follow the marks. So all I'm going to do now, I did my momentum so that I can get the speeds, the right speeds. This is my analysis. This is what my opinion would be, that the cars were going, the red car was going 60 miles per hour at impact, and that the white car was going 20 miles an hour at impact. So I'm going to go to my layer manager. I'm going to shut off the momentum tool. I don't need it anymore. I've recovered my speeds. I know what they are now. So now I'm going to go into the model library. I'm going to go get that vehicle again, same vehicle. And I'm going to say it starts in this lane right here, and it goes right down and crashes, and then it ends up right here. Now this is my red car. So we'll click on the red car. We'll go ahead and make it red. Now what I'm going to do here is back the car up because I want it to follow the actual evidence. Those black lines are the evidence. So this car spins counterclockwise a half a turn. And it ends up right on my marks. This thick red line is the path. I'm going to make the path follow the evidence. So you basically make your animation follow everything that you have here. Now, you can look at my yellow tire path indicators. They are not showing that the car is going to follow the actual black marks. So if I run this animation, you can see that that's not happening. Okay? So I need to do a few more things. First of all, I'm going to set my speed, 60 miles per hour for my first segment. Then I'm going to go out at, let's see, 36.5. And I'm going to go to 0. And I'm going to make sure I have a synchronization position there. So now when I run it, I'm a little better now. The speeds are right, but the rotation's still not right. So let me go in to add an intermediate position here. And I'm going to place the car, and we're going to rotate it and slide it back. Now my rotations are very much lining up with my marks in the road. So the car follows the marks way better now. So I'm pretty satisfied with that car now. So now I'll go get another vehicle. And this is the vehicle that just basically pulled out from a red light here, or from a green light. And he's going to go up here, and he's going to end up there. And we'll set our speeds right away. Let's go at 0. And we'll get up to 20. And then we went out at 29.4. Back down to 0. Give us our synchronization position there. We'll make this car the white car. Okay. And we will line up our path so that it follows our evidence. That's what we want to do. Okay, so the car gets hit right here. This car's, actually I want these two back tires to be right here. So I'm going to add my intermediate position right away and make it happen. Slide this right back. So you can see my yellow lines are now right on top of the black ones up to the intermediate position. Now once I turn this car around, and now I've got those lined up. So now I'm pretty happy with that. So, I think I can probably run this animation now, and it should be pretty good. So if I hit the play button, here comes the car, it goes in, and there's my results of my animation. Now I might want to damage the cars, I might want to make this path put a little curve to this path, and you can do that. I can put the curve like this, put a little bit of curve in there, and that's not going to affect your animation at all. The car's just going to drive right on up there and hit it and spin out. So the key is, how do we get this animation into court? Well, first of all, you have to be able to state that you created this accurate scale diagram, which we have here. You have accurate measurements of where the cars collided at. You have accurate evidence that shows their approach angles. You have accurate evidence that shows their departure angles and their paths the cars took. And we need to create an animation report to back up all of this. So over on the left, there's, if you click on any of these paths, you can go in here and you can print your animation report. So if I click the print animation report, it's going to come up with an animation report that's going to list the coordinate position of center mass of each car during all of its movement. And it lists the coordinate position every quarter of a second. So you can scroll through, and this is going to be a multi-page document of this particular vehicle. It's going to have the time, every quarter of a second. It's going to have the coordinate location. It's going to have the degree of yaw or pitch or roll, whatever that you have. And we've got a lot of yaw here. And it's going to have the speed, you know, from its starting 60 miles an hour all the way through its crash. And you can see where it actually got the crash, because it went from a speed of 60 miles per hour right here on this line right here. At 1.383 seconds, the car went from 60 to 36. There's your impact right there. And then your speed goes down from there as it goes down all the way to 0. Now we can get the same thing for the second car. Let's go click on the other car and let's print an animation report. And you can see how the car started out at 0 and it accelerated. You can see how many seconds it takes, all the way up to the 20 miles per hour, which was, let's go back a page, right there, 19.94, and then all of a sudden it went to 29.3 almost, and it goes right on down, and that was 3.75 seconds in, and then of course at the end, at 6.9 seconds, it finally came to a rest. So this animation report backs up everything that we've done here. Now the question is, okay, well, how do we know the speeds are right? Well, our animation engine in the program is based on a real clock and real distance. So if you took and if you were ever asked to demonstrate this, you know, in your voir dire, then all you have to do is get an animation, just make a simple animation out there of a vehicle. And let's say it's going to go this far. And let's look, and let's say that the distance is going to be, we want to make the distance 120 feet or something like that. And we want the car to go 30 miles an hour. So 30 miles an hour is 43.8 feet per second. So figure 44 feet per second. So in 2 seconds, how far is the car going to go? It's going to go 88 feet, right? Something like that. So if we go in here and we back the car up so that it's exactly 2 seconds, and I'm looking at the time, there's 2 seconds. There's 88.09 feet. If I hit the play button, that car is going to travel in 2 seconds the 88 feet. So that proves the animation engine is correct. So you need to be able to state that you're satisfied yourself that the animation engine is operating properly. You've got an animation report that backs up everything you've done. You've got an accurate scale diagram, and you've got accurate scale measurements. And you're using accurate scale models. So all of that produces a product that will get admitted into court as long as you're allowed to testify as an expert and give your opinion. The animations are nothing more than a visual representation of your opinion, so there shouldn't be any reason why they shouldn't be admitted into court. So I'm going to open it up to questions now. Let's see what we have for questions. Any questions ready yet? If you have a question, just type them in and I'll be happy to answer them. Okay, now we're starting to get some questions. Okay, I've got a question here. Would I add any titles or any information in the beginning? You know, if you want to, you can. In order to add a title or any other type of information, you would have to do that in the construction of your video that you would present to court. So yeah, I probably would put a title in here. I would, in order to do that, you need to take it out, put it into a video editing software, get your title squared away, and then put it in there. So, but you know, I don't think that's totally necessary as long as it's listed on the evidence report what it is. But it's up to you. Some people do, some people don't. Okay, the video for the Momentum webinar should be on our website. Let me take a look here. Our web person up there is supposed to be putting all those on the website. Let me see if I can find it here. All the webinars are going to be listed on the website, so you can always go back and review them again. Let me see if I can find it here. I'm going to go to our website here, and let me see where they are. Weekly webinar. These are the webinars right here. So there's one for court ready. Let's see here. Here they are. Latest videos. There's ARAS 360 HD crime scene diagram. Here's the Momentum one right here. So if you just click on it, you can see it's 55 minutes long. If you just click on it, every webinar that I'm going to do and when we first started this, I'm starting to record them all. So these are the last two that I've recorded. Mike Kennedy, our CEO, did last week's webinar. I don't know if he recorded it or not, but I will be recording all of mine. So they're here. He probably didn't record it because I think it was on Genius, which was Structure Genius and Sign Genius, and there's how-to videos on our website on all that stuff, so he might not have recorded it. But that's where they are. So let's go back to here. Let's see what other questions I have. Now, while we're talking about the recordings, another place you can find any kind of recordings is go to the help section on our program, and then right here, video tutorials. Click on the video tutorials. It takes you to the website. There's a whole bunch of how-to videos. There's setting options and preferences, creating layers, animation cameras. All of these are videos on how to do stuff. Animation, creating basic, advanced, synchronizing multiple objects, articulating vehicle. All of this stuff is here. Momentum, there's a video. There's another video on Momentum right here. So you have an awful lot of stuff here, a lot of ways to find out how to do stuff. And if you click on any of this stuff, it's going to play the video for you. There's also, if you've got other questions, if you go to, let's go out of this for a minute. Let's go back. Let's go up to knowledge base. If I click on knowledge base, it goes in here and it goes right to our website, and you can click on which program you want to use: ARAS Genius, Blitz, HD, or the old 360. All the articles are there. So if you click on HD, and it's going to go in, there's a bunch of frequently asked questions. There's a bunch of how-tos. and there's a bunch of show solutions and fixes. So the how-tos, you click on that, and it opens up all the how-to videos, and you can see there's a whole bunch of those. And this is a really good resource for you. I mean, all these are videos, or not videos. They're articles on how to do things. So a lot of resource for you there. Okay, let me get to the next question here. Can you save it as an ABI file to show someone who does not have ARAS? Yes, you can. Watch my screen. So let me go ahead and get rid of this one here. Let's say I want a video of this. Let's make this guy come in real nice here. Yeah, just like that. So that's the crash I want to show. So I'm going to play it. And just to confirm, that's what I want to show. Okay. So if I want to create that video, and I've got him moving a little bit more here. Hold on. Let me move him back. You know what? There we go. Put him back where he needs to be. There we go. Let's say that's the video I want right there. So I run it. And there goes the cars. So that's the video that I want to play. So all I have to do is go up here and hit the record button. Once I hit the record button, it's going to run. It's going to create an AVI video for me. It's going to run the animation. It's going to take 30 pictures every second. And let's say this is a 10-second video. It'll have 300 pictures when it's done. And it will compile all those videos all those pictures into an AVI video. So once the animation is finished and all the photos have been taken, or frames if you will, then there's going to be an indication that's going to pop up. It's going to tell me that frames have been recorded. Do you wish to convert to a movie? There's my pop-up right there. It even tells me where these frame shots are going to be stored. So you know where to find them if you want to take them out and add frames to it, like a title bar or something, a title screen. You can add frames to that. So I'm just going to say, yeah, I want to make the movie. So it's yes. It's going to say, okay, where do you want to put it? Let's go and just call it movie and put it on my desktop. And then I hit the save button. And now it's going to create the AVI video. Just say okay to this. And, within a few seconds, you're going to have your AVI video that anybody can play as long as they have some sort of media player. So it's creating the video right now. And as soon as it's done, it's going to ask me if I want to keep the frames or not. And if I don't, I can say no, or I can say yes. I'm going to say no right here. Now I'll minimize my screen. And where's my movie? Right here is sitting my movie on my desktop. It's an AVI file. Let's go to properties. So there's my movie properties. It's a video clip, AVI. Can be played by Windows Media Player. It looks like it's 2.74 megabytes. Okay, so I'm okay with that. Let's go open it. And it's going to play. There's my video. Plays it. And this is what you can email. You can put on a CD. You can put on a DVD player, whatever you want to do with it. And you can make several views of this. You can make a view from the driver's seat. You can make a view from overhead. You can make an oblique view like I have here. Okay, any other questions? I'll give you a few minutes. If there's no more questions, then we'll be done. My suggestion for videos for court is make them as simple as possible, because you know how courts can be sometimes. I'm here in Virginia, and Virginia is a strange state. It's a commonwealth, first of all, and the state courts don't allow accident reconstruction experts to testify as to their opinion. So in Virginia, I can't testify to my opinion. That means I can't bring an animation in. So it really is going to be up to the courts, but most places, and Virginia is kind of an exception, but most places you'll get these in no problem. As long as you can show that it's based on real facts and it's your opinion. And you're allowed to testify as to your opinion as an expert. Now, I can testify. I can say, yes, this is a skid mark, or I can say, yes, this is a scuff mark, or I can say, yes, I measured this roadway and this is what I came up with, but I can't testify as an opinion of how fast the cars were going, because they don't allow it here. In Virginia, they allow that. They allow the juries to figure that out themselves. And it's a strange situation here, but that's what they do. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Okay, I've got a question here I must have skipped over. I just saw it here. We often use screenshots attached to reports or highlight a particular point for the jury. Do you have a recommendation how to get the highest quality for printing? Well, our printing is vector printing. So it is the highest quality you can get. It's not an image. If I wanted to print this out, I would click the print button and go over here to print diagram, and it's going to give me a top-down view of that, and it's all vector printing. Now, an image obviously is an image, so we used an image here. But if I wanted to trace this and take the image out, this is going to be the highest quality you're going to get, which is pretty good. If you want to get it blown up, don't blow up the image. Try to get to give them a copy, either a XPS writer copy of it. I don't like the PDF because that tends to pixelate once you get it bigger. But the best way is if you can send a file directly to them and they can open it up and do it. Now with the XPS document writer, they can do that. So that's the way to do it. So what I would do is go into the print mode, and then right here I'm going to save this as an XPS document writer. Maybe I'll go into landscape mode like that. And if I want to print that, I will click on my print manager button, and then right here this is going to list my printer. That's the printer I have right now, an OfficeJet 8500. I don't want to print to my OfficeJet. I want to make it a Microsoft XPS document writer. So then I do that. And then I just click the print button. Now what it's going to tell me is say, okay, this is going to make a file for me that anybody can open up and print, just as if they were opening up the ARAS program and print it. So you're not printing a copy, you're printing the actual file. So you can take this to a print shop and they'll be able to open it up. And then I'm going to put it on my desktop. I'm going to call this, crash. And then I'm going to hit the print save button. So I've just created that. So now, this is the file that I'm going to take right here, crash. That's the file that I'm going to take, and that's the print you're going to get. So it's really good. So that's what you want to do. You want to save this and you can see the properties of this. It's an OXPS file, so these print shops can open that up. So you're not blowing something up. You're taking the actual file, putting it onto their printers and plotters or whatever they have that's going to make a big print for you, and they're going to blow it up, and it's going to be real nice. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Okay, any other questions? Okay, well, if we don't have any more questions, that'll be it. Thank you very much for your attention, and we'll see you for next week's webinar. Have a good week.